Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, Pakadash. Double honor to the elder, Apostle Ray Millstone, with Thomas Truth and Rule Well. Peace, blessings, and salutation to I come out there, scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth. That's serving their truth and not true sincerity. So I say Shalom. It's your brother Nabala coming to you in another video in the spirit. And in this video, I want to talk about basically how Yahawashi, he doesn't dwell in buildings that are made by man's hand, okay? You know, because this is a spiritual thing we're in. And you got these pastors, you know, that done build up these churches and basically trying to act like it's so basically that you only can receive the scriptures or the Holy Spirit, you know, inside a church. Like it's only holy inside of a church whatsoever. And that's not the case, you know. This is a spiritual thing. And the scriptures talk about how, you know, we have to spread this word. And how you gonna spread the word if you're being confined inside of the building, you know? Everybody's not accessible to a church. Everybody doesn't go to the same church. That's why we have to be out there on the highways and byways to push this truth, okay? And this is Acts 7 and 48. It says, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Have not my hands made all these things? Khan. So, you know, he just said, heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool, okay? So, there is nothing that you can, as far as right now, because, you know, back in the early times, you know, we did build temples for Yahawashi, but that's not for us to do in this time, okay? The third temple that Yahawashi is building up is that spiritual temple, okay? It's that spiritual body, okay? It's not going to be physical. The next temple we're going to have is going to be in the kingdom, okay? It's not for us to build a temple on this side. So there's no spirit inside of those churches, inside those buildings, other than the spirit of Satan, okay? Because first their doctrine is completely off, and they're not teaching the right things they need to be teaching people as well, okay? And then they got the image of Jesus Christ, which is not his name, okay? And they got images of a lot of different other characters in the church, which are whitewashed. Okay, they don't have the true pictures of who those people supposed to be. So it's just further for, you know, causing our people to go off and go astray. That's why we have to go out there on those highways and byways where everybody sees us, you know, and they can't help but miss us at that point. And also, you know, this is a man's thing too, okay? So at church, you know, you got women that go to the church, and you got women who heavily involved in the church, then you got women who end up taking some type of position in the church, and that's not how it's supposed to be, okay? This is man's work, you know. The men are supposed to be out there, you know, pushing this word and spreading this truth, because that's only who the Lord is dealing with. He's only dealing with men. He only gave this wisdom and understanding to us as men, and for us as men, we're supposed to teach it to our women, you know, and to our little ones, and so on and so on. This is Ezekiel 34 and 31. It says, and yea, my flock, the flock of my pasture are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord Yahawah. Khan. So there you go. Pretty simple. This is Revelation 10 and 11. It says, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Khan. And so how would you go about doing it if we have to prophesy before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings? Okay, they're going on them highways and byways because that's the most busiest parts, you know. Is out there being on the streets. That's when the most traffic is going on. That's when, people in their vehicles drive by. That's when people are just walking by, and not just. I mean, you can set up anywhere, but you want to make sure you're going to a place which is busy. We're gonna get the most business, okay? Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to wake up the lost sheep, okay? And we've been scattered among the nations, so we can't get caught up in them looking just like Jake, with melanin on their skin. They can come in the form of looking like any other nation of people, but if their spirit is drawn to this, then more likely they're Israelite. So that's why we have to go out there in the busiest ways where there's all type of people, all type of nations of people, walking around, because we don't know who the elect is. So that's why we have to go out there to wake up the elect. And let me grab this. So I can. This is Luke 14:23. It says, "And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled." So what are we doing? We out there what? Trying to compel the elect, not for everyone, because the scripture says many are called, but few are chosen. So we're trying to call the elect, to come into this thing. And it says that my house must be filled, so that the elect may be sealed. Okay, because we know when the elect is sealed, then after that we got salvation to look towards too. Okay, so that's why we have to go out there on the highways and byways to preach this truth, to wake up the elect, all four corners of the earth. And right now, we got the internet too. Technology has increased on a whole different level. So now we have this technology where we're not just we're just not restricted to just going on the highways and byways, okay, and speaking. Now we have the internet, so that's why we record our camps, so people can go back and look at them, and the people who are watching, they'll be able to, find us, ask us where we at, and also to edify. We can use the internet to edify as well, okay? And say people who, like I said, we don't know who the elect is. It may be people who have disabilities or whatever, and they're not able to get out there to the highways and byways, but what? They're still able to learn and watch, okay? So that's why we also got to do our part too in making our videos and doing our videos. Yeah, we go on the highways and hedges, but we also got to. It's more work than that. It's more work to be done than just doing that. So that's why we have to make sure we're putting up our videos as well, because all it, like a brother said a while ago, every video that is being made is pulling down the strongholds of this place. Is bringing this place down. So that's one thing it's doing. It's also waking up the elect too, and it's also edifying our people as well. Everything that we're doing is not done in vain. It has a reason, it has a purpose for it. We have to remember that, and we have to continue to do it, because the Lord requires it of us to do it. Okay. And I'm gonna grab this. This is Proverbs 1:20. It says, "Wisdom crieth without; she uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates in the city. She uttered her words, saying." So, how does she utter her voice in the streets? By us being out there in the highways and byways, okay? And in chief place of concourse, the most busiest place. So, for us here, that's downtown. And that might be the case for a lot of cities, not all, just for a lot of cities. Downtown is probably the most busiest places to be, especially when it comes to the weekend. Everybody's just downtown. So that's why we go out there, because that's when we have the most basic action going on. and we can talk to a broad amount of people at a time. Okay. Verse 22, it says, "How long, you simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorn delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you." And that's what the Lord is doing, through the prophets. The men out there on them highways and hedges. It says, "Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded." Because that's what we're doing. We're out there calling. That's the Lord is calling you. When we're out there on them highways and hedges, and you're walking past, and you hear us, but you're not taking heed, or you hear us, you'll stay for a minute, but then you just go about your day and just basically went in through one ear, went out through the other. Okay, you're refusing, and the Lord is stretching out your hand, and you're not regarding. It says, "But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof." Yeah. And the reason why they do that, because of what? Because we're out there on highways and hedges. They don't think that, they think that we're crazy. They don't understand the magnitude of what we're doing. And just because we're not inside of a church doing it, or inside of a building doing it, that it doesn't hold no value. And then that's not true. I just brought the scriptures to show you that that's not true. It says, "I also will laugh at your calamity, and will mock when your fear cometh." Because when all hell start breaking loose and things starts getting real, what they're going to do? First, they're going to go to their pastors, okay? But what? Their pastor's not going to be nowhere to be found, or their pastor's not going to have no answers for them. So then what? They're going to come looking for us, those men on the corners, on them highways and byways. Because even though they see us and they walk past us and they act like they don't pay us no attention, they know who we are, and they know where we are. So when the time comes when all hell start breaking loose, they're going to go to that same corner wherever brothers are, where they know brothers are preaching. They're going to come and want to hear. But what? We're not going to be out there. And the Lord's going to be laughing and mocking, because, now you want to come. Because when you had time, you didn't want to take the time. This is verse 27. It says, "When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord." They hated knowledge. And that's what we do. We try to edify, we try to give them knowledge. And this is one way we're doing it, trying to help people understand that the church is not the answer. Your pastor is not the answer. He don't have the answers. That's not it. But what? They hate knowledge. They can't receive that, and they refuse to receive it. Okay? And they didn't choose the fear of the Lord. Verse 30, they would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So you out here doing your own thing, the Lord's going to allow whatever you was out here doing to come back on you. Whatever thoughts or whatever it is going to come back on you. Verse 33, "But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil." And that's just plain and simple. Whoever hears these words and take heed and come into this thing, after learning, because you have to be learned first. You can't just come into this thing. You have to learn, and you have to understand what this thing is about and how serious this is, because it's not no game. This is serious. Okay. But if you do decide to come into this thing, all the hell you was catching in the world, you're going to continue to catch hell when you come to this thing. But you're going to have a hedge of protection. Some things that probably could have happened to you won't happen to you, because you decided to come serve Yahawashi. Okay? And then you start understanding why you start catching hell. Okay? So, that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to close out by giving all praise to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom.